Hello and welcome to Today in History. Today being the 4th day of July in 1776, the Second Continental Congress unanimously adopted the Declaration of Independence, announcing the colony's separation from Great Britain. The Constitution provides the legal and governmental framework for the United States. However, the Declaration, with its eloquent assertion all men are created equal, is equally beloved by the American people. In 1859, the Ben-Maker Institute of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania urged African Americans to celebrate Independence Day while bearing witness to the inconsistencies between the ideas espoused in the Declaration of Independence and the practice of slavery. Chairman of the meeting, Mr. Jacob C. White, Jr., also promised his audience a brighter future. And on this day in 1994 is marked as Liberation Day, when Rwanda celebrates the end of the horrific Rwandan genocide that claimed over 800,000 lives in three terrifying months between 6 April and 4th July 1994. Hutu extremists slaughtered every Tutsi and moderate Hutu they could find, men, women, and children, while many fled from their homes. Propaganda messages spread over the radio waves, and soldiers and police officers forced ordinary citizens to rape and murder their neighbors, friends, and even relatives. Incentivized with food, money, and land, an estimated 200,000 people took part in the killing corps, laid pied in the countryside like a load of disposed garbage and covered with banana leaves to avoid detection from aerial photography. An eyewitness account, the river Kagera flows into a steep ravine that forms the natural border between Tanzania and Rwanda. It gathers into current huge clumps of elephant grass and numerous small trees. In the late spring of 1994, it was much the same with human corpses. They too twisted and turned, rose and dropped, and came bouncing over the falls before they found the still water. Rwanda genocide is an important part of our world heritage. It's an ugly reminder of how tragic and savage a crime against humanity can be, and how quickly it can happen. And on this day in 1913, a scuffle broke out between police, mounted soldiers, and a riotous crowd at the Johannesburg Market Square in South Africa. This was during the first miners' strike. The police were severely assaulted after strikers attacked them with stones. The mob refused to disperse and fired shots at the military. One of the ringleaders, a tall red-headed miner from Niger named J.L. Labushnanga, twice walked into the street, threw out his arms and cried, "Shoot me!" The second time, when the crowd behind him began to move forward, he was shot dead. A 13-year-old boy, Monty Dumore, was shot through the back while selling strike heralds to the crowd outside the Rand Club. Moving on this day in history, 1979, Ahmad Ben Bella, former president of Algeria, was released after 14 years in prison following his eccentric and arrogant behavior coupled with his increasingly autocratic rule. Bella's government was overthrown by Hara Boumediene, his close friend, in 1965. He was placed under arrest for the next 14 years. He was released on 4th July 1979 and placed under house arrest until 1980. Bella died on 11th April 2012. And in 2001, Congolese President Joseph Kabila and Uganda President Yoweri Museveni meet for first face-to-face peace talk in Tanzania as part of an effort to end the three-year war in Congo. And in 2014, delegates at the National Conference in Nigeria voted for rotation of presidency between the North and South and among the six geopolitical zones. The delegates, however, shut down a proposal for a single term of 6 years for the president. The principles of rotation, which was also adopted among the senatorial zones in the states, the delegates resolved should also spread to the local government level. However, we've brought to you some of the international observations today, which includes American Independence Day. Americans come together on July 4th to celebrate the nation's birthday and Independence Day. On this day, most Americans enjoy grills in the backyard, at beaches, or in parks. Some partake in parades or marches and enjoy the fireworks that are often launched at dusk. The American glory of red, white, and blue is celebrated on Independence Day, July 4th. Also, today is Invisible Day, which is celebrated every year on July 4th in the United States. On some days, don't you feel like disappearing? There are days when we feel left out or invisible, while there are also days we want to feel that way. Invisible Day makes us wonder what we would do if we were invisible. Would you eavesdrop on other people's conversations or make your way around town without being seen by anyone? Would you use your power of invisibility for the greater good or will you be selfish about it? Invisible Day presents us with so many interesting possibilities. Let us know what you'd like to do if you actually had an invisible power, or maybe perhaps choose a particular power you would like to have. Going on today in international observation is Zambia Unity Day, a public holiday celebrated on the Tuesday following the first Monday of July. This year it falls on July 4th. The day is always part of a 2 day break, as Unity Day is always the day after Heroes Day. The goal of Unity is to promote national unity among the 70 or more groups that comprise the Zambian people. In Zambia, there is no single dominating ethnic group, yet 9 distinct groups make up the bulk of the population. There is also a great deal of linguistic, cultural, and religious variety. However, we have piles of observation today, but the most notable one as Africans is the Rwanda Liberation Day, which is celebrated on July 4th. It is observed because it marks the end of a period under a tyrannical government and the beginning of freedom from oppression. It represents the end of a dictatorship and the start of democracy. The date is also the anniversary of Rwandan Patriotic Front liberating the country and ending the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. The day is locally known as Kwibohora. We are wishing the people of Rwanda a good celebration, as this may not even sound as a good celebration. However, it is a victory on the side of the Rwanda people. And at the same time, we're wishing the Americans a happy Independence Day. I hope you like this. And if you do, please give us a thumbs up. Also, give us your thoughts and opinions on the comment section. Do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.